Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Meg, and this is Ger Can Get It. This week, Fishman foot fetish?
If they gave awards for makeouts on screen or stage, this guy would get a lifetime achievement. He'll find any excuse to get right to sucking face. You honestly wouldn't believe it. Dissecting each and every kiss with tongue. There's only one conclusion to come to. It's that Ger can get it. Ger can get it.
I don't. Okay. You know
Okay,
what?
should the little hat, the Scottish hat thing that every time he's Scottish, he ends up with the hat. The
Oh, like a tam?
four corner where he's taken a handkerchief and tied
Oh,
all four
yeah.
corners. This is the third time he has ended up wearing this hat.
Okay, wait. So, Falstaff, I feel like he has the little Kleenex hat, doesn't he?
Is it Falstaff?
Oh, maybe not. I don't know. List for
I
three
know
times.
he wore it in Ikwe.
Oh, I've blocked all of that out. I
Yeah,
can't
he
handle that in my
definitely
head.
wears it in Ikwe because I think when he first shows up and he's on the boat and he's like sunburned and gross, he's wearing the hat. And then the second one is this one, the
Yeah.
Tempest. He definitely wore this hat in the play he was in Stratford this year.
Oh, that's yeah. It wasn't Falstaff. It was Winter's Tale. He wears it as the thief guy.
Yes, he wears it in Winter's Tale for sure, and then wears a hat on top of it as if
Yes,
it
a
is
hat of a
like
hat.
the liner for an additional hat.
Correct.
So this is the third. Every time I feel like, well, Ikwe's not a comedy.
For us, it was.
Ikwe's not supposed to be a comedy, but it feels like
fair.
his go-to comedy hat. Like, I shall wear a jaunty headkerchief on my head. And then every time he's Scottish, he definitely wears it. Like,
Yes,
anytime he
correct.
has to put a Scottish accent on, he's like, I know how to make this more authentic. It's okay. I'm an expert. Trust me. And then he pulls a handkerchief out of his pocket and sticks it on his head, and everyone's like, just let him do it. Just
We've never
fine.
been to Scotland. We don't know. Maybe they're all walking down the street with handkerchiefs on their heads.
It's fine. What year was
this? Is 2010.
Oh, okay. All right. Wow, I don't know how I didn't know. I know Christopher Plummer's still alive, but he's been old for I knew he would be alive in 2010, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yes.
But for me, he is just always ancient. And so every time I see him in
Correct.
something even remotely within the modern era, I'm like, I thought you already died.
Christopher Plummer, I feel like only exists in black and white movies, and then movies from the 90s to the early 2000s, or to the 2010s, where he was 1,100 years old.
Yeah.
And there's no in between.
Let's see how
Is
old
this
he is in this.
Is this before or after something of something? Conspiracy of Fear.
Isn't Conspiracy of Fear the 90s?
Maybe. It has a 90s feel, but I also would not be surprised if it were.
He died in
recent.
2021, so he lived 11 years after this. He's 80 in this.
Oh, wow. I mean, he was very spry for 80.
Because he died at 91.
Let me look up.
I don't know. I feel like I know he's in The Sound of Music, and then he's in Dracula 2000, and those are the only two movies I ever expect to see him in. So every other time he shows up, it's a complete surprise. I'm like, oh my God, Christopher Plummer's in this?
Well, it would have been weird if you knew ahead of time that he was in Conspiracy of Fear.
Let's see. He was born in 1929.
He was the narrator of a short called Callie the Little Vampire. Well, clearly we need to add that to our list.
We're going to end up doing filmographies for all of these obscure actors.
Correct. Although, can I be honest? I'm in the IMDb for Christopher Plummer, and he has 218 credits, so that might take us the rest of our lives.
Let's see. Oh my God, he was in stuff all the way back in the 1950s. The Alcoa Hour. Oh my god, I wonder if that's the American Aluminum Company or if it's something different.
I think it's the American Aluminum. Oh, here's conspiracy. Okay. So, oh, you're right. Conspiracy of Fear is 1995.
I thought it was
Okay, so
the
that was way
90s.
before this. To me, it felt like the kind of thing that is like from the 2010s, but the budget was so low that it like feels like the 90s, even though really it was made much
Mm,
later. But you're right. This
that's
is
fair.
95.
Yeah, it was.
So we're talking about the Stratford Festival production of The Tempest, and they've done like 900 productions of it, and they're going to be doing a new one this year, starring, oh my God, who else? Geraint Wyn Davies. But this version is from 2010, and I think I had to buy this on the DVD. I don't know that it's probably streaming through the Stratfest at Home app, but I don't subscribe to that currently, so I couldn't tell you. But I think I bought it on DVD. I don't remember it being too expensive. I I I liked the production, but I don't feel like I agree with their interpretation of some of the characters. If that
Okay.
if you know what I mean. But okay. But
I mean,
let's
I am at your mercy because this is the only experience I have with The Tempest.
I feel like I read it in high school. I don't know if I've seen it performed other times, but I just when you're like based on the words that are coming out of these characters' mouths, like this is how I feel about you, but I can tell that the play that this production of the play feels differently about the characters than I do. That's just kind of how I am. Like I literally at one point I Googled, are we supposed to hate Prospero? I Googled it because I was like, maybe I'm stupid and everyone loves him. And it seemed kind of like, no, like it's a fair, like it seems like maybe earlier criticisms of the play were like, yes, you are supposed to love him. And then more recent-ish cultural criticisms of the play have been more kind of where I'm landing, which is like, I don't know, he seems like kind of a prick. I don't know. But like, I feel like this version of the play is, I mean, it's starring Christopher Plummer and executive produced by Christopher Plummer, and Christopher Plummer plays Prospero. So the where they ended up was not you should hate Christopher Plummer, weirdly. But I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna let me give like the shortest synopsis, and then we can dive into what I think we all want to talk about, which is Ger getting his foot licked, and also maybe Mrs. Ger's rubber boob. It's so much happens in this, so much, so weird. Okay, so the short version is there is Prospero. He was the Duke of Milan. He was more interested in doing all of his sorcery because he's kind of a wizard. I nearly said man witch. That's how stupid my brain is right now. I was like, a witch,
He's
but a man.
kind of a man witch. Not like the sloppy joes
Not
and
like
a
the
can.
sandwich.
Not like the sandwich. No. But like a man who can do magic. I don't know if
Yeah,
there's
man
another
witch.
word for that. It's fine.
It's been a long day. So, so he was more interested in learning his dark and spooky arts. He had a little baby daughter named Miranda, and so he lets his brother, whose name is Antonio, he's like, can you just like do all the shit that I should be doing as the Duke of Milan? And his brother's like, yes. So his brother takes over all of it. He's definitely trustworthy and cool. Thumbs up. So
Totally
he
not a
takes
problem.
Totally not a problem.
No.
So he takes over basically all of the duties, and he's like, well, I'm doing all of the things to be Duke of Milan. What if I were, I don't know, the actual Duke of Milan? That would be fun. So he gets together with the King of Naples, whose name is Alonso. And he's like, hey, will you help me, like depose my brother? But don't kill him because everyone loves him. And I'm like, really? Like, okay. But he's like, we're not going to kill him, but like, I would like to depose him. And then I guess I originally thought, and I don't know why I thought this, maybe just because it like makes more narrative sense. I kind of thought that it was Antonio and Alonso like driving Prospero off and like throwing him into a boat and being like, like you're in a boat now. But then when I was listening to that section again, it sounded more like Prospero got the heads up that like bad shit was going to go down. And so he escaped on the boat, but it wasn't like his brother and the king put him on the boat. But I had always thought that they like tossed him
I
on the
thought
boat.
they put him on the boat, but it was a shitty boat.
Yes. Yeah,
like
you're
we're not gonna kill you. We're just gonna put you on this boat because that
you'll
way
definitely
there's
die.
a chance you'll live.
Yeah.
But it's such a shitty boat because even he says something about like no one would believe that this boat was seaworthy.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they send him off in the boat like, "Well, there's a chance you won't die," and he
Yeah.
doesn't die?
Yeah. That was kind of the way that I had always interpreted it. But then there were some lines that were like, my followers got me the boat. My followers like helped me get to the boat. Like, I don't know. It kind of sounded like my people are the ones who helped me escape that way. But like narratively, it makes more sense that like the bad guys put you on the crappy boat. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So, and either way, at any rate, he gets on a crappy boat. It's him and his daughter. Whoosh, they go out into the water. Uh-oh, they end up on this magical island, which I have so much stress about. But anyway, so they land on the magical island. They're there until the daughter turns 15. And then...
Marriageable age, one might say.
Sure. Played by a lady who I think is definitely older than me, but like...
Yes, correct. Which is I'm fine with. Because then I don't have to mentally confront I'm marrying a 15-year-old.
It does make it less stressful.
Yeah.
This actress does seem like... I mean, she's very small and very pretty, but she looks like she could arm wrestle you to the ground, which I appreciate about her. Like, there's like a wiry toughness about her that also makes it a little bit less gross, that it's like, okay, this is a 15-year-old, and you're just like picking her up and moving her over and going, you married that. She's like, okay. So, okay. So she's on the island, and then there is a ship coming back from... I don't remember where, somewhere in Africa. I remember it was coming back from somewhere in Africa, where Alonzo's daughter has just been married off to like some African king. And there's some fun racist subtext, which we're going to ignore. So then everyone's like, you married her off to an African? And I'm like, okay, all right. I wanted to like this play. Now I can't. So anyway, so they're coming back to Italy from wherever it was in Africa. I don't remember, that the daughter, whose name is like Clarabelle, and I'm like, God, that's it seems like the kind of name that like you can only name a cow.
Yeah.
Like you can't be a human woman named Clarabelle. Like that's...
What's the name of the cow in...
I keep thinking it's like Miranda, and I know it's not Miranda, but it's like a lady's name.
Hang on. What's the name
Lissa.
What's the name of the movie? Why did I can't remember?
The 1977 movie that Ger was in is called... I don't know. Let me look.
Why did it leave my mind? He's 68 this year? Oh my God.
Correct. Frankie Drake.
All I can think is like Desert Harbor, and I know that's not it, but I don't know why my brain is like...
Deadly Harvest.
Deadly Harvest. God. Okay.
Oh, speaking of which, today is Black Friday. I mean, this will air like weeks after. But if anyone is super interested in getting your mitts on the complete series of Airwolf, you'll be pleased to know that it's now available at Walmart. I saw it today and I freaked out. I was like, what? Who asked for
Airwolf? Airwolf is available and Forever
Correct.
Night is not?
Correct. I saw it and I was like, who's the audience for this?
I know. Who's like, oh shit, yeah. Airwolf.
Totally.
God, I was waiting for that.
Although I have heard people say that the first 3 non-Ger seasons are really good and they really enjoyed them, and they loved that version of the show so much. So I guess I can see, like, if you really liked the first 3 seasons out of a 4-season show, like, you're not going to make a 3-season box set. You'll just make the whole thing box set. So like, I guess it was so funny. The back of the box was like the first 3 seasons, which are great. And also the last one is here.
It also exists.
It's in the box. Here
on this thing. All right. I'm going to keep looking for the name of the cow because I think it's something like Clarabelle.
I don't think it's going to be listed in IMDb. I don't think it's going to have like
Bonnie the cow. Deadly Harvest cow, and Google was like, what? What do you get? The cow dies. I'm like, I know the cow dies, but I need to know the cow's name. And it's like, what is wrong with you? That's literally.
You have reached the end of Google somehow. You have Googled all that
I have limits. If it were 2020, if it was 2012 or earlier and I Googled Deadly Harvest cow, I'd know the answer by now.
I think Google would have just melted down. It would have been like, we do not have the power to find this. So, okay. So we end up having, we have Prospero and his daughter, and they're hanging out on the island. And while Prospero is there, he's, a big magic-y dude. So he's using his power to control all of the magical spirits that live on the island, one of whom is Ariel, who's played by a lady, but who in this is kind of genderless, gender question marky. I don't know in the original play if they refer to Ariel as a he or a she. I feel like I've seen Ariel played by like all genders and no genders as like whatever. But Ariel is a little air spirit and is played by this 5'1" Asian actress wearing a full body blue, like sky blue leotard, and her face is blue, and she's got like the short spiky hair, also blue. And I loved it. I fucking loved it. It is so much. It is so goddamn much. And then
It is so much. And then like the whole film opens with her swimming on a wire through the air.
Oh, this poor tiny actress. Her name is Juliana. I have this here. Juliana Solistio. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm Soelistyo. Y-O.
Yo.
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 She's been in a bunch of Law and Orders, as far as I can tell. But what I think, okay, so my favorite part is it's not a characteristic, it's a Stratford Festival trope, I feel like, which is that they take their like official Stratford photos of the productions like way before they finish finalizing everybody's designs.
Melody, the cow's name is
the
Melody.
cow. Okay.
I had to zoom, like I found it on YouTube and I was like, I'll just play the first little bit because the cow dies pretty quick. And I like skimmed forward and it was the cow getting shot and getting dragged onto the car. And I was like, well, I found it, but at what cost? So sorry, it's Melody.
I know that like Ger either will never have known the answer to this question or like this was 50 years ago. He's not going to remember. But I kind of feel like they did in fact kill that cow.
Oh, they fucking killed the cow. That is a deceased cow.
Or they had the live cow for the live cow scenes, and then they like hired the local butcher, and they're like, "Can we borrow your cow carcass for like 2 days of shooting?" And he was like, "All right, like it's your money, man." And they brought in like a cow carcass because like it looks very real, and it's like 1977, so I feel like they did not have plastic cow carcass technology because it looks very good.
Oh, it's a dead cow. Whether it's the same
has to
cow
be.
or not is the only question. But is it a dead cow? Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So upsetting.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Poor
Okay.
Melody.
R.I.P.
Melody. No, look, ADHD is why people listen to this.
Yeah,
If they listen at all.
Ariel was a highlight. I don't understand what was happening for most of it. But she was really like, that was the only character that I was like, I hope he sets her free at the end.
Yeah.
I love that she looks like Genie from Aladdin.
She does. But my favorite part is like I said, Stratford, I feel like they don't finalize their costume and makeup choices until like well after they take photos. Like every time we've seen a photo of Ger before he does the play, what he looks like in the play, totally different every single time.
Yeah.
And then we've got the photo. If you Google Tempest Christopher Plummer, like the Christopher Plummer version, the photos that you will see, she is still blue, but she looks like who is the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh, wait, okay. See, now I have ADHD. See, okay, this is he's blue and he's played by the guy with the southern accent. Oh, I'm turning into my mother. I'm like, the guy from The Thing. I'm gonna cut all this out so I sound real smart. He looks like
Oh, I see.
He looks like
the
character of Yondu Udanta, played by Michael Rooker. God, I knew his name. Why couldn't I remember it?
Exactly what she looks like.
Yes. They make her skin and her bodysuit not the same color. So it looks like she's a blue lady wearing like a white leotard, like a light blue, almost white leotard. And they give her the Yondu like faux hawk for whatever reason. And the side of her head is shaved. That's not what she looks like. And she looks very cute in the actual production.
Yeah.
These photos are like weird. They're very weird. They're not normal. They're not good. But I love that it's like like, how do you guys not know by the time you're taking the picture what your characters are going to look like? How do you always have like significant significant changes to their hair and
They
makeup.
just like to keep it a surprise for everyone,
I
including
guess.
themselves.
Yeah, including themselves. So if you see the pictures, don't be like, like she looks fine. She's great. And she's very talented, as you said. And I feel like we definitely feel for her. And I want to get into more like some of her scenes in a little bit, but like, okay. So anyways, so he's on the island with his kid. We've got Ariel, who's a magic blue forest spirit, who, like I said, is like 5'1". She's pocket sized. She's adorable. I love her. And then we have Caliban, who, to unpack him would take forever, but we'll try. But Caliban he keeps being described as like a half fish man and sort of man shaped, like in the text. And like different productions will portray him like 100 different ways, either as like a native islander, like just a guy who lived on this island, or they go all the way to the other end and they're like, yeah, he's some kind of freakish monster. And this production went with freaky monster.
Half and half.
Half and half. Yeah, literally he is half Greek. He is split down the middle, like from the top of your head to your crotch, like left and right sides. Yep. And he's green on one side and red on the other. And the way that they painted his bodysuit sort of makes him look like, at least on the red side, like maybe he doesn't have skin. Like you're looking at his muscle texture in like a really detailed, intense way. And he has kind of a fin going from the top of his head all the way down his spine. And when they do close-ups on him, he has yellow fish eyes, or yellow cat eyes, yellow monster eyes with like red on the edge. So he's got like full scleral contact lenses and has to do Shakespeare. Like this poor actor whose name I think is Dion. I had it here. Wait, Dion. I got it somewhere. Dion, he's here. Where are you? Dion Johnstone, like Johnston, but with an E on the end. He does an amazing job. He does great job. And like, I'm so impressed by him. But the character is like, there's like 100 different ways you can play it. And like 98 ways out of 100 are sort of racist. So like you almost have to make him a freaky fish man, like to try and like not wade right into like colonialism and racism, which like we'll address, but like it's a whole thing. Anyways, he's a freaky half fish man. So they're all on the island together. And then one day, like everybody who's ever wronged Prospero is in a boat coming back from Alonso's daughter's wedding to, some African king. And yeah, Prospero's like, well, this works out perfectly. So he causes a tempest. Get it? Because it's called the Tempest. Do you get it? Okay. So he causes a tempest to happen. Everyone gets shipwrecked on the island. And then we end up having basically like 3 groups of people. So we've still got the Prospero and Miranda, who's his daughter, Ariel, like that group, to which is joined Ferdinand, who is Alonso's son, who is a 16-year-old-ish boy, played again by like a 39-year-old man, which is my preference.
It's fine. So, I'm fine with it. I'd rather that than a 16-year-old
than actual children making out on stage. Yeah, that would make me deeply uncomfortable. So we have them. And then that whole section is just Prospero being like, oh no, I don't want you guys to like make out or anything. You guys should totally make out. I don't, that would be weird if your dad wanted it. Your dad wants it. Like, it's like, okay.
No kid.
Like, yeah. She has never seen any other man, and she sort of vaguely remembers having lady nurses when she was like 2 years old, but not in any sort of clear way. So like the second a 16-year-old human boy who is not a fish man walks up, she's like, oh, hey, what's up? Hey. So, and I guess because he's a 15, 16-year-old boy, I mean, there's boobs in front of him. So he's like, yes. So I'm like, all right, Shakespeare, like you knew what teenagers were. Like, congrats. Okay. You nailed that. Yep. Good job. So, Prospero is acting like he doesn't want them together, but he does want them together. And the whole point is that if they marry, which he wants them to marry, then the kingdoms of Naples and Milan will be united, and then his daughter will like be in charge of all of it. Basically, her and Ferdinand together, they'll be in charge, and that'll right the wrongs that happened to him. Blah blah fucking blah. Who cares? And then we have almost all of the people who were on the ship. They're like group number 2, and they've got their own situation going on because we have Prospero's brother. And then also Alonso, who is the king of Naples, he has a brother. So we have 2 brothers. They're both assholes because what is Shakespeare good at? asshole brothers. I don't know why that's like a theme,
It's
but
a
anyways,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, that I'm the brother and I want to usurp, and so we have those two who are kind of like Waldorf and Statler from the Muppets, which I wanted more of them. Like I found their like sort of scheming smartassery more fun than the third part where we will end up having Ger and the court jester, those two guys together being like the actual jokey characters. Like I like the smartass jokey characters instead of the like I poop my pants characters, which is like where
Yeah.
Ger is this time, which is like it's fine. It's fine, but like I feel like when I first got so Alonso's brother is called Sebastian, and Prospero's brother, as we said, is Antonio. And like when those two characters first showed up, I was like, oh, you guys are like the comic relief, but you're also dangerous. Like that's like a fun ball of string to play with. And I feel like the play is like tired, done, go sit in the corner, like done with you.
How about a poop joke? Would
Yes.
you like a poop joke?
And I was like, no. And Shakespeare's like, fuck you, I don't care. You're getting 20 minutes of poop jokes. I was like, no. But anyway, so we have them scheming to kill what's his face, the king, Alonso. And there's a third guy with them, and I don't remember who it's Sebastian, it's the brother 1 and brother 2. And then there was a third guy with them who was also scheming. I don't remember. I can't remember, but I remember that like
I'll be honest and say I cannot remember. I know he was an old guy, and I kept getting confused about whether he was the brother of Christopher Plummer or not. And I knew he wasn't, but I didn't know who that made him.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, so I'm getting myself confused. Maybe I'm on the Wikipedia page. You don't need to know that. Okay, so we have the two brothers who are conspiring to kill the king, and then also like the king's like number 1 confidant guy who used to be Prospero's number 1 confidant guy, blah, blah, blah. You don't care. But we've got the two brothers conspiring to kill. And then later, when Ariel comes in and tries to torment them, Ariel is also tormenting the king because the king had taken part in the coup of Prospero. So the king is obviously not part of the plot to kill himself, but he had been part of the previous plot to get Prospero out of there. And so when Ariel comes in later, Ariel's like, fuck it, you all suck. Like, caca, and like goes after all 3 of them. So that's the whole, so they're all there. And obviously the king doesn't see his son. And so the king is like, my son clearly died in this terrible shipwreck. So he's sad about the son dying. So he's over there sad about the son dying. And then we've got the two brothers who are conspiring to kill him. And they're like, we'll kill him and then we'll take over this island. And I think like maybe big picture, if we leave the island, then like obviously we've just killed the king of Naples, and then maybe, we can run Naples. But like either way, there's a guy here with a crown and we kill him, and then we're the guys with the crown, and then I guess we'll be in charge of this whole island. Because like, why stop scheming? You've just been shipwrecked in the middle of fucking nowhere where no one will ever find you. Yeah, no, political machinations. Like, this is the time
This
for
is
that,
the
obviously.
moment. This is your moment.
Correct. And then the other group is the one where I'm like, look, I'm very happy to see Ger. I love like a fun little comedy scene. But these two characters, like I could put them in a blender. Like I fucking hate them. I'm not a fan. So the two characters that we have are Stephano, the king's drunken butler. Who else? Garrett Wyn Davies. Good job, Ger. And then we have Trinculo, the king's jester, who I feel like I've seen like clips of other versions where he's not dressed like an actual clown. And this version's like, but how will people know that he's a clown if he's not dressed exactly like a fucking Bozo the Clown with like a red nose and like a red wig and like super cartoonish and like sort of, I read a review that said that the way that Trinculo is played in this is sort of like David Lind. And I was like, that's who he reminds me of. Exactly David Lind. Like effeminate to the point of like, are you making fun of gay people or are you the gayest man who's ever lived? Like, I don't, like you have full circled homophobia into a place where like, I don't know where we landed. You are so much right now. Sir, you are like, okay. Did you ever used to watch Are You Being Served? The British comedy?
I have seen Are You Being Served? Yes.
It lives in my heart in a special place right next to what's her face? Mrs. Bouquet.
Oh yeah. Keeping Up Appearances.
Thank you. Yeah. So Keeping Up Appearances and Are You Being Served was all that I used to watch on PBS as a child, and that's exactly why I'm as normal as I am now, and I love
Mhm.
those shows so much. But there was Are You Being Served, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's about people that worked in a fancy British department store in the 70s where every different department like had its own level in this building, like its own floor. And so the floor that we look at is men's and ladies' clothing. And for ladies, it's like the ladies' hosiery. And for men's, it's like men's ties and men's suits. And there's the ladies are on this side of the floor, and the men are on this side of the other side of the floor. And then there's Captain Peacock, who is the head of the whole floor, and it's his job to like keep everyone in line. And all the people that work at this department store, at Grace Brothers department store, they're all kooky British characters from the 70s, and I loved it. I loved it so much. But this is such a departure. This is going to take a long time, but it's fine. It's fun. You love this. So there's this one actor, and he's passed away. His name was John Inman, and he played one of the, why can't I remember the name? He played one of the men in the men's department. And John Inman was a gay man, and the character that he played was like coded as gay, but I think it's the 70s, so they weren't like, here's my boyfriend. Like they never like came out and said it, but like everything he said was a double entendre that played into his character being gay. And I love him so much. But he was like, looking at his face makes me a little, like, it makes me happy but sad a little bit. But okay. Mr. Humphreys. He played Mr. Humphreys. I loved him so much. Anyways, but he was like an authentically gay man playing a character who was an authentically gay man. And then like a couple of years ago, like not super recently, but like not like definitely after like 2015, someone at the BBC, who is a monster and who I hate, decided that they should try and reboot these series and like the exact same characters, but just like with newer, younger actors. And they got the guy who played Herrick in the British version of Being Human. They got him to play John Inman's character, to play Mr. Humphreys. And that actor, I don't know if he is in fact a gay man. I have no idea. But the way that he played Mr. Humphreys in this pilot that was never picked up is like someone trying to do a caricature of this authentically gay man. And it made me angry in a way that like I don't, when you're like surprised by like where anger, you're like, oh, I didn't know there was a well of anger there, but like,
Yeah.
it just came out of me. Because it felt like you're doing a caricature of not Mr. Humphreys, the character, but you're doing a caricature of John Inman, a real human man. Like this is just how he was. And he was just, flamboyant is not the right word, because flamboyant sounds like you're putting on a character. And like, he just like was a gay man who didn't try to hide that he was a gay man. Like, and he was like a funny character and like witty and like really sharp, but like boiling down to like the essence of John Inman, like he just like, he just had like a way about him. And when they tried to reboot it, they were like, what if we did this in the meanest, most offensive way possible? And like just made a fucking like just made like a cartoon that feels like we sort of hate gay men.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's make a mean.
What if we completely didn't realize why this character worked in the first place?
What if we missed the point?
And we thought it was just the gay jokes. Like people were laughing at the queer jokes. They weren't.
Correct.
It wasn't because the character was so believable and so authentic. It was the dick jokes.
Yeah. Because the original character is like, he's beloved. Like you love him and he is funny. And he is funny, period. Also, he is gay, period. But the way that they did it in the reboot was like, what if people were laughing at him because he's just so gay? And it's like, you're not even on the playing field for where the point is. You can't see the point from where you are. And I remember so John Inman died in 2007. I think this pilot was made well after that. And I was like, he's rolling over in his goddamn grave, because you have insulted the memory of this man who is beloved by so many people. And that is sort of what this character in the Tempest, Trinculo, feels like.
Circle back.
To circle back. I need everyone to know how much I love John Inman is the main part of this.
One of Londo's wives plays on Are You Being Served?
What? Who was she?
Timov.
No. Sure. Are You Being Served?
I don't remember who she is in Are You Being Served, but one of them is an actress on Are You Being Served. And if you know that and you go back and watch the episode where the episode of Babylon 5 where Londo's 3 wives show up, all of her comedic delivery through the entire through the entire episode
Oh
makes so
yeah.
much more sense.
No, British comedic timing is like chef's kiss, especially if you were on those
Her
sitcoms.
her
Ugh.
British comedy sitcom timing is what makes the episode where Londo's wives shows up perfect. And once you realize she is a British sitcom alumni, it makes so much more sense.
I clearly spelled her name wrong because they're like, did you mean these Tamil actresses? And I'm like, no. Okay, Jane Carr. Who were you, Jane Carr? Because you weren't one of the main.
It was either her or it was the other. I just remember it, and when I did the thing where I talked about who they all were, like what they'd all been in previously, she had been in Are You Being Served?
That would have been the 70s. I don't see what's one of the other wives. Timov and who?
I just remember her because her name's Vomit spelled backwards.
Oh. Here, I'm just gonna Google Londo's wife. I'll cut this. I don't care. Maybe it's good. Let's see. Londo's wives.
No, you should leave it.
Okay.
A whole
Timov,
100%.
Ger, and Mariel. Let's try Ger. Played by Lois Nettleton. Well, she wasn't one of the main, but let me see. I wish to Google. Okay. Sometimes I hate IMDb where I'm like, can you just tell me about this actress? And they're like, would you like pictures of her breasts? And I'm like, no, I would like you to tell me.
I know. I wish the filmography was still like on mobile now. You have to click on filmography and it'll be like, oh, did you want to know what they were in? Yeah. What the fuck else do you think I'm on here for?
Yeah. Why else am I here?
Okay. Maybe it was another episode. I know somebody recently was in Are You Being Served? Okay. It's fine. Never mind.
No, I need to know.
I'll review that later.
This is important. I need to.
Because I mentioned it in the episode. I was like, they were in Are You Being Served? And Matt was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, okay, it's fine.
Did you then strap him to a chair and make him watch it? Because
He wouldn't find it funny.
What? And you married him?
It's fine. He doesn't do anything like embarrassment type comedy.
Oh, no, I hate embarrassment type comedy, but I feel like Are You Being Served is just.
I know.
Old women saying the word pussy a lot.
You know that.
Oh, but he would find it like
he would
embarrassment
find
comedy?
It, yeah.
Blair Volk. Who is
he did
Blair
like
Volk?
Vicious.
I still have only seen clips of that somehow. Blair Volk was born in France.
Never mind.
I know.
I'll have to go back and review my episodes and figure it out. Scratch all of what I just said. I know I've mentioned Are You Being Served recently.
I think you did too. I can't find any of the wives as having been on Are You Being Served, but like it. Do you know what I mean? Like every episode would have had like 25 random people coming in as customers, so like I fully believe it. Oh, John Inman. I loved you. Okay, I got to leave you for the Tempest, but I love you. I love you, John Inman. You're my buddy. Okay. So we have the 3 groups. Like I said, we have the Prospero trying to get my daughter laid group. We have the SpaghettiOs. We usurped people and we might try to usurp some more people because we're shipwrecked on an island. What else are we going to do, group? And then we have Poop Jokes Aplenty, which is where Ger as Stephano, who is the king's butler, who is drunk, chef kiss, and Trinculo, the king's jester, who is weirdly effeminate. Although I will say, even though like it feels like he's going up to like the Paul Lynde cartoon of a man territory, when I looked up the actor who played the king's jester, whose name is something, I just had it.
There were not a lot of I'm in the Shakespeare. I'm in Stratford all the time actors. These were a lot of like Christopher Plummer's going to be in this. I'll go out for it.
Yeah.
Even though I've never been in anything Stratford related before.
Yeah. I know the guy who played Caliban, Dion Johnstone. I know I've seen his name in some of the other Stratford Festival things. Like it's hard to recognize him because he literally is red and green from head to toe. But like
Yes.
the name, like how many Dion Johnstones do you see? So like when I saw the name, I was like, I know you from somewhere. But yeah, everyone else, except for let's say one name, which we will be discussing at some point. But other than Ger and one particular name, I didn't recognize anybody else. But the guy who plays Trinculo is Bruce Dow. And if you go to his Wikipedia, his IMDb page, it says like non-binary. I use all pronouns. I'm everything and nothing, whatever. So I don't think he's like a straight man making fun of gay people, but like the jester is definitely played at like the height of gay comedy, and I was like, this is so much. This character is like way like I like you're giving me a 14. Like if you could bring it to like an 11 and a half, like I would be able to handle it. But you're just like, so
Yeah.
those two are there's so much. So they're drunk and when they fell off this ship, I guess they fell off the ship like next to all of the kegs, and their goal is to drink until there are no more kegs. So Ger's character is fully pickled, and then the jester character is like making fun of him for being fully pickled, and then they see Caliban, and they give Caliban alcohol, which I guess he's never had before, and he's like, well, clearly you're gods, because this stuff is amazing. So I will follow you until the ends of the earth. And actually, you would make much better masters than my current master, Prospero, who is a dick. I hate that guy. Can you come with me and we'll kill Prospero, and then you'll be kings of the island, and I'll worship you, and you will keep me plied with booze. And so Stephano and Trinculo were like, that sounds like a good deal. Like, you do sound like you're being shit on. And I like that part I would like to discuss at some point. But you do sound like bad things are happening to you. We will go with you. So those are our three groups.
Did we skip Ger's hand gesture? Isn't that when he first walks on stage?
We will get into we will address.
Okay. I just want to make sure that it's going to come up.
Okay. Oh, yes. Yes, yeah, because the thing that I see when I close my eye, no, I felt it. No. Okay, so I feel like it's a characteristic for him to have a character that has like 12 lines, and he's like, I am going to milk 45 lines worth of emotion. I'm gonna milk so much out of this. I'm gonna be the star of this, even though I am not the star. Like, I will become the star of this. And I can't. This feels like Puppets That Kill, where I have seen shit that I can't unsee now. But anyways, so we have the three groups. They will end up coming together. Miranda and Ferdinand will end up getting married. Everyone who was mean to Prospero ends up getting scared by the ghosts and ghouls of the island. We'll have Trinculo and Stephano like get to Prospero's house or cave or whatever it is that he's living in. And try on all of his clothes, because that was a scene that this play needed. And so they'll all get together, and then Prospero's like, hey, P.S., I'm still alive. I see that you guys feel bad for like, I don't know, like trying to kill me or whatever, but I am now a wise old man, and I renounce all of my plans for revenge and murder, and I forgive all of you guys, even though you have done literally nothing to warrant forgiveness. And I'm magic. So your ship that was shipwrecked, snippety snap, your ship is perfect. Also, your clothes have been dry cleaned on your bodies. You're welcome. Let's all go back to Naples and Milan. And everyone leaves the stage. And then Prospero stands there and he's like, he does a fucking Tinkerbell, which I liked in Midsummer Night's Dream, when you have Puck being like, if you didn't like this, it was just a dream. But if you did, maybe clap and then I'll be happy. Like, I was like fine with it. But Prosper at the end of this being like, hey, if you clap, then I get home safely to my island. And if you don't clap, I guess I die here. And I'm like, okay, Shakespeare. Okay. 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 So that's the basic thing. You've got the three groups. They get together. He forgives them. The end. So much happens in this. So many details that we need to discuss. This play, so much. So, oh my God. Okay. So I feel like, and tell me if you have the same feeling from this. I feel like the way that this play was performed, this particular performance, that they like really like Prospero, and they think he's a good guy and like nice to all of his
a kindly uncle who got unfairly banished from his country because he was just trying to be a bookworm and, like, be all about his books, and then his brother, who did the actual work, somehow felt like doing the actual work meant that he got to be the actual ruler, but, like, fuck whatever, and then he ended up on this island with his daughter, which felt unfair to his daughter, so he just shipwrecked this ship, but, like, he didn't actually hurt anybody, they're all fine. Just so he could get his daughter married, say he was sorry, get his kingdom back, and get back on track. That's
Yes.
what it felt like.
And it's so frustrating, at least for me, like, watching it. I was like, "You're portraying him differently than how I feel about him to, like, such a degree that I feel like you gave Christopher Plummer, like, way too much control over this, where he's like, 'Well, I'm the lead, so everyone should like me.' And then he'll be saying things that are terrible, and I feel like the only time that the play acknowledges that he's kind of a prick is towards the beginning. There's a scene where Ariel's like, "Hey, you said that if I did like 6 things, you would set me free, and I have now done the 6 things. Like, can I be set free?" And he's like, "Oh ho, did you forget? Did you forget all the exposition that I'm gonna spew right now about how I found you?" And Ariel's like, "No, I have not forgotten. But have you forgotten how you made me a promise and now you're breaking it like over and over again?" And he's like, "Oh ho, let me tell the audience how great and amazing I am and all the terrors that I saved you from."
Yeah. Do you wanna go back in the tree? Because I could
Yeah,
send you back in the
I
tree.
will put you right back in the goddamn tree. Yeah, yeah, because apparently, okay, so Caliban's mother, Sycorax, was a witch from Algeria who was pregnant with Caliban when she herself was exiled. And I'm like, I really want more, I want more like analysis that deals with, we've got a man with a child and a woman with a child, and they're both exiled from the places that they were living, and they're sent to the island, and they both are magic users, but somehow, and they use their magic to like control the spirits that are there, but somehow when she does it, she's bad, but when he does it, we're supposed to like him. But he seems like just as controlling and vicious as Sycorax. And I know that there's some comment where it's like Ariel didn't want to do the things that Sycorax wanted Ariel to do were so terrible that Ariel was like, I can't. I know I'm like a magic fairy, but like even I have limits. I cannot do it. But like no one is telling me what that is. So I don't like, does Ariel just like not like touching worms because they're ucky, or was she like crush babies' heads on the ground and bring me their brains? Like what is it like? Like show me how she's bad. Don't just tell me that she was bad. Like I
Right.
feel like, but anyways, apparently she was controlling Ariel just the way Prospero is, and Ariel was like, I can't, the thing you want me to do, I can't do it, I cannot do it. So she's like, oh, okay, fuck you, you little bitch. And she stuck Ariel in, like, it sounds like there was a tree that was cloven in half, and so there's like a little like empty gap in the middle, and she like wadded Ariel up into a little ball and went thump and just stuck him in the hole inside the tree and left him there for like 12 years or something, like a significant period of time when he's like losing his mind inside the tree.
Yeah.
And so then Prospero comes to the island and hears like, help, help me. He sees the tree and is like, well, I'm magic, dunk dunk, and like pops him out of the tree and is like, okay, hey bitch, you used to belong to her, now you belong to me. So while he's like making Ariel relive the torment, what I thought was kind of cool is they have Ariel facing the audience, and you can see by the actress's feet who plays Ariel that there's like a tiny little bit of smoke that starts billowing out. And as the like, let's relive your trauma moment happens, the smoke gets thicker and thicker and thicker and is coming out of Ariel's feet. And I thought that was kind of a cool way to show that like Ariel's inner turmoil and stress over the like, hey, I'm going to forcibly make you remember how like this terrible moment in your life.
Yeah.
But the rest of the play like seems to forget that this moment ever happened. And I'm like, okay, like there's a scene where Ariel's like, dost thou love me, master? And then Christopher Plummer is like, obviously I totes love you. I love you so much. And I'm like, but what about
When you threatened to put her back in a tree?
yeah, 5 minutes ago where he was like, hey, you're not marching to my tune quickly enough. I will put you back in a hole. Like, that's not love. That's not how you love your fairy spirits. That's not how that works. I don't know. don't know how I feel. Like I know how I feel about the character, but I'm like mad that the play, like that this performance doesn't, except for that one like
It
ankle
just
smoke
felt
scene.
so straightforward. Like, we
Yeah.
open with the shipwreck, the shipwrecks, and then we cut to Miranda, and she's like, "Dad, did you sink that ship?" And he's like, "I
Maybe.
mean, like, a little, but the people are fine." And she's like, "Oh, okay, well, as long as the people are fine. Can you tell me about my childhood?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's have a moment." And so then he tells her about her childhood, and then he's like, "Actually, Daddy needs to have a conversation, so go to sleep." And then she passes out on the stage
It's
in the middle of the stage, and then
it's my
Ariel comes
favorite.
out, and they have this whole conversation, which we just
While sh
described,
while she's
while
on the
she's just
floor.
laying on the floor, and then he's like, "Cool, cool, bye," and Ariel's like, "Fucking fine, fine, I'll go do the, like, thing that you told me I have to do." And so Ariel fucks off, and then Miranda wakes up, and he's like, "Oh, hey, sleepyhead. Oh my god, you, like, passed out on the floor. So weird." And she's like, "Oh my god, Dad, so weird. I was so tired." And he's like, "Yeah, you would not know that I was a magic user and that this was suspicious at all. There's definitely no reason my daughter would suspect
Yeah.
that I had put her to sleep in any way, shape, or form
You know what
at
this feels
all."
like? This reminds me of, to bring it back as we always must, to Forever Night, to the,
Mm.
Be My Valentine episode, where
When Kathy gets put to sleep?
yes, yeah, where
Yeah.
we have the Natalie character who is
Yes.
the love interest, question mark, of the Nick Knight vampire character.
Yeah.
She has an evening she cannot remember,
And she's
and
like,
she kn
"Wow, I must have
yeah,
really tied one on." And he's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Yep." Not
yeah.
like she doesn't know that he has the ability to erase her memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's well aware of that and has an evening she can't remember, and I was like, "Guess I was a little bit of a lush last night." And it's like, "But
You
you know this is
know.
suspicious."
You know, and she wakes up and he's like, "Anyway, I found you a boyfriend." And she's like, "Oh my god, I've never seen a boy." And then the boy shows up and she's like, "Oh my god, he's hot. I'm gonna marry him." And he's like, "Oh no, don't stop. Okay, fine." And then we have all the shenanigans that happen. But even with the shenanigans, this is like 2 straightforward hours of like plot beat, plot beat, plot beat, done. Like
Yeah.
I remember I wept at A Winter's Tale because it was so dramatic and it was so
Yeah.
emotional and it
Yes.
was so good. And this was like, so anyway, that's how I married my daughter off when she was 15.
Yes. But that's exactly my problem with this performance also, is because I want us to wrestle with who the characters are and like the decisions that they've made. And I think like we've talked about that. Like you and I feel strongly about Prospero and strongly opposed, I think, to how this production feels about Prospero. And like you could really wrestle with like, was his plan the whole time to like bring them here and forgive them? I think his plan the whole time was I want my revenge. And then he like comes to a point where he's like, actually, I don't need revenge anymore. I have like, I have let it go. And so whether you deserve my forgiveness or not, I don't need to carry that weight inside my heart anymore. Like I'm putting it down and I'm floating it away on the waters and I don't need that. And we're going to be cool. Like you can play this a lot of different ways, but the way they decided to play this was like kindly avuncular Christopher Plummer. He can't do anything wrong. And then he like becomes Christ-like by forgiving everybody. And I'm like, okay, all right. Well, like
Yeah.
that's not as interesting. And like you said, in The Winter's Tale, we have this character who is like, seems like he's going into like an episode of like mental illness where he's like, my wife looked at a guy who's our friend, affair. Like you're like, what? Like he has like, and then he
Yeah.
has to deal with the consequences of his rash actions for like 16 years. He has to like carry this weight with him. And then at the end, when his wife is like, I was pretending to be a statue this whole time, which is dumb. It's dumb as fuck. It's fine.
But you
But like
don't care.
but you
You're
don't
like,
care
"Aw."
because he got to grow and change, and then he also gets the benefit of his wife back after the growing and changing. You're like, oh, I got to see you as a like your inner self, and I got to like watch you wrestle with that, and that was very cool and interesting, and it made the dumb parts palatable. Like I didn't care as much about the weird dick dance section because I got to see the Graham Abbey drama moment. Like I got to see his character arc, and that was really great and meaningful. And you're right, with this production is like, well, you just want to know what happened, right? Dun, 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 dun. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. So anyway, here's how it goes.
Yeah.
And then his daughter got married in front of 3 magic spirits?
Okay, we need to discuss this scene.
Question mark?
We need to discuss this scene so much.
Goddesses? Maybe?
Okay, so here's
And hey, why don't we make it a plucky musical while we're at it?
Well, okay, that is the one thing. So, did I spend a lot of time Googling the actual text of the Tempest on several different websites? Yes, of course I did. So, because the way this scene plays, okay, so we've got Miranda and Ferdinand, and they are together, and Prosper's like, I want you to be together, but do not have sex before marriage, or I will make your dick fall off, like thunder and lightning, like. So, but he's like, also, I want you to have a fruitful and happy marriage. So I'm going to do the cool thing that all the dads in 1610-ish did, and we're going to have a fun little mask, because I'm magic and people expect that. That's literally his line. He's like, I know I have plots to handle, but also I'm magic, and my kid expects me to put on a magic show. And I'm like, but why did you have her pass out when you had your magic spirit buddy pop in to talk to you? Whatever. Okay, so she knows what she knows when she knows it, except when she doesn't. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
That's Shakespeare's
totally
fault.
understandable. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So he's like, all right, everyone shut the fuck up. I'm going to put on a mask. And apparently this was just like a thing that happened at weddings, and also I think from what I Googled and what I vaguely remember, like weddings and fun parties. And so you would have people like get up and perform and do like a little show for you at your party because you're fancy. And so what is actually happening here is we have 3 island fairies who are just 3 rando island fairies. But Prospero is like, hey, I want you to do the thing that people used to do at my house when I lived in Milan. And so you island fairies are going to be putting on a play where each of you pretends to be a Roman goddess or Roman, I don't know, is Iris also, I guess she's a goddess, a Roman goddess, okay? Greek Roman goddess. So you're going to be yourself, and you're pretending to be these Roman goddesses, and you're going to recite these little speeches that I wrote for you because I'm magic, but also I'm a playwright. And so you're going to do this shit, and you're going to bless the marriage, and everyone's going to be so impressed. And I'm like, okay, cool, fine. In the actual play, this scene goes on like a lot longer. In this version that we saw, they like cut it in half, which is only funny to me because one of the goddesses, Ceres, is played by someone that I think, people who have listened to the podcast might know this name, Claire Lautier, who was at the time Mrs. Geraint Wyn Davies. She was his wife, and is currently, I think, not his wife or on the way to not being his wife. Anyways, at the time, wife.
Allegedly.
So, allegedly. Well, actually, now that you say that, oh no, this is right before, because they get married in 2012. She's pre-wife. She's not yet wife. She's almost wife.
Oh,
fiance. So they come out. So we have the nameless fairies. One plays Juno, the goddess of marriage. One plays Ceres. That's Claire's character, Ceres, the goddess of agriculture. And one plays Iris, who Wikipedia says that's the Greek goddess, not the Roman, but the Greek goddess of the rainbow, a messenger of the gods. She is the rainbow. The rainbow. She comes out and she is green with a little bit of blue. She is the rainbow. Why doesn't she look like a rainbow? This is not hard. I don't know,
because
green?
they're like, these are expensive costumes. There's yards of tulle. They are so floating. There's so much shit going on with their costumes.
Their costumes are so confusing.
To make a rainbow would not have been a big stretch.
Right? So she is like blue-green. I think Claire's character, Ceres, the goddess of agriculture, isn't she like yellow gold? I know that Juno, the goddess of marriage, is like all gold. This poor black actress, they like golded up her face. They like it looks like an uncomfortable amount of makeup even to be on stage for like 5 minutes. Like it looks like someone took a whole bucket of sprinkles and went right into her eyes. Like it's everywhere. And then it would be remiss of me not to mention that the Iris actress, again, the one who plays the fucking rainbow and is green, they gave her forever night contact lenses and none of
Yeah.
the other two. And I'm like, why? Why does only the rainbow have yellow vampire eye? Who designed this? I don't understand any of this. And then also the part that you and I could not stop talking about, the dresses that they put these women in all have one boob free, and they covered the boob with like a silicone like chest plate,
Maybe?
sort of like what a drag queen might use to have a boob, like a lady boob.
Question mark? Is it
Question mark.
covered or is it I don't know. I don't know because their nipples all look the same size. This is where I was. I was like, is it just plastic? Because they give these people contacts, which is fine, but again, this is the festival theater, and Stratford, if for anyone who's never been, the festival theater is not the best for, like, being up in the actor's business and seeing what's going on. Like, it is the one besides the Avon Theater, it is the one with the farthest away seating,
Yeah.
and so to give a character contacts, no one's fucking seeing the
Nobody would
contacts.
see it.
No
Yeah.
one is seeing like, they may have worn the contacts specifically for filming night.
Yeah. But then only one of them has it.
That would be my expectation, but, like, anyway, they're wearing, like, the plastic chest piece, and there's no real noticeable color difference between, like, boob and nipple. There's definitely, like, I'm supposed to be giving the suggestion of a bare breast, but I was really on the fence about whether or not it would because it matches their skin so well.
Yes.
It really feels like they gave them a clear-ish plastic thing and then put a pasty
Yes.
underneath.
Yeah. I will say on one of them, and I don't remember who, because so there's 3 women and they're basically in like a C shape on the back of the stage. So like the camera is like going between them pretty quickly, like bump, 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 like you, back to you, back to you. So I don't remember whose chest it was, but it was like the barest suggestion of like areola color on one of them. And I was like, is this, because like you expect it, if it's like a drag queen like breast chest piece, you expect it either to have like nipples on its own
Yeah,
or to be like a solid wall of flesh, because it's so thick to create the the shape that it needs to be. It's so thick that like she could be wearing a shirt underneath and you wouldn't see any color. But this is like you see like a little tiny bit of shadow on the nipples. So yeah, that would lend credence to your theory that it's just like a clear thing and
with a
their actual
pasty
boobs are under.
underneath.
But it's
Yeah,
also like why, like what, like their designs are just one boobed ladies with long flowing dresses that kind of light up, but they're not like stylistically interesting dresses. As I say, like they don't even seem to really like tie into their themes. Like we have agriculture, we have marriage, and we have rainbow/messenger. And if I didn't know that from knowing it or reading it on Wikipedia, like their costume designs I don't think would really give that to me. And then totally separate from all of this is like, how do you fit in with the other animal people on the island? Because we have Ariel, who looks
yeah,
only like Ariel. We have these ladies who look like, more or less like human ladies. And then we have Caliban, and there are scenes where where apparently in the real text there are supposed to be like demon dogs, air quote, air quote. But what they do is they have a bunch of nameless, faceless actors dressed up as like mini Calibans, like the same shape as Caliban with the head frill and that goes down your spine. But they're not red and green. They're like really dark muted colors. They all look the same. They're all like blacky, purpley, whatever. So like Caliban, how do other things look like Caliban when Caliban was the only child of the witch Sycorax? Like was she fucking other demons on the island and making a whole army of Calibans? Because Caliban makes it even he has like those speeches where he's like, I'm the only one like me, and I was gonna rape your daughter Miranda, and that's how I would make other Calibans. But currently there's the number of Calibans is 1 and I'm it. Hello. So when I saw all of the other like not Calibans, I was like, okay, what? Like what how are there other things that look like him? How is there nothing that looks like Ariel, who we know is native to this island? And where do these like, do these boob ladies, do they normally look like Ariel? Do they normally look like Caliban? Like, what is their costume like? Their whole like body and dress? Like, it's like, it feels like they like this play, like this performance thought like was like, I have a vibe that I'm going for, and did not like think one step deeper than vibe. And I'm like,
No.
I want like a little, and like, that's not to say that I think it's bad. Like, I think people would enjoy watching it. And I did like at the very beginning when they're like, this piece of the stage is risen up to sort of look like Pride Rock, but really it's the bow of a ship and we're in a shipwreck. I was like, okay, like that's done really well. Although like we're watching it on video, and so I feel like they do a lot of camera work where I'm like, okay, if I'm sitting in the audience, I'm not seeing the camera bouncing in and out like it's on, like it's in, being tossed by the waves. I'm sitting in the audience watching you guys have to fall around and look like you're being tossed by the waves. So like, would this have been as effective in person? I don't know. But like, watching it is fine. And they do some neat magic tricks. They're like, oh, this sword, what? It's spinning around Ferdinand. Like, whoa. And I was like, okay, like
Yeah, he
that's
does the
cute.
clear thing where he's like,
Yeah. Yeah. He's got the
"Whoa."
sword on like a wire or a string or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that there's like some other like little magic-y things that people do that I thought those tricks were well done. Or like, I thought that I liked that the set was well lit, as opposed to Antony and Cleopatra, where I was like, shit's probably happening.
I
Maybe
wouldn't
they'll announce
know.
it.
Yeah. They didn't
Yeah,
use the back half because the festival
correct.
theater has those little side areas. It has an underneath piece. It has a whole like
Yeah.
set that you can use, and they really only used the front circle area.
Yeah. But I thought they used the front part well,
I thought
like
it was great. Yeah, I
when
mean,
it had to look like,
it was fine. I mean, I really like. There was nothing wrong with the way this movie was or play was produced. I just didn't connect with the story, which is entirely separate from the way it was presented. Just because I'm used to Shakespeare feeling like I'm mildly confused slightly by the language, but also just slightly by the content. And this
yeah,
felt very much like, yeah,
here it is.
and then they got married and then we went home.
Yeah. But that's why I'm frustrated with this one, is because I feel like, okay, like because it's like so straightforward, like here is what's happening. If you're going to put it on, you have a lot of opportunity to like do crazy shit, because the audience is going to understand,
What's
and
happening?
yeah, like it's a
Yeah.
real basic story. So if you want to talk about like colonialism with how shitty Prospero is to everyone on the island, and like you want us to feel bad for Caliban, which I feel like Dion Johnstone like gave us more sympathy for Caliban than like everyone else in this version of the play wanted us to have. But I thought he played it really well, and like I appreciated it. I appreciated like his sort of impotent struggles, and like, look, if I can get a better master than the one I have, like I will serve you. Which brings us to why I think someone at Stratfest has maybe a foot fetish, because this is the second time where there's a Ger character and another character, and like someone's foot is getting caressed in a sexual way. And I looked,
He licks it.
he licks it.
He licks his foot. Yeah.
Multiple times. So the Caliban character is like, hey, you gave me alcohol, you must be a god, I will follow you anywhere. I will kneel down and kiss your foot. And Ger's like, all right, so do it. And Caliban's like, no, I will. And Ger's like, okay, so do it. So then they make poor Dion Johnstone like like all over Ger's
His
foot.
tartan tight.
It's a moment. It is such a moment. But this is the second
Tartan tights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which were just inside his tiny little black leather shoes. So like,
Yes.
I can't even, the stage stink on that foot. I can't sir, you deserve whatever kind of a Tony-esque award just for having to be near that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the second. So remember when we watched Merry Wives of Windsor, Ger, his character Falstaff, starts caressing. I don't think it's the Meg character. I think it's the other one. Meg and I don't remember the other. Is it Anne? No, Anne Page is the little girl. There's Mrs. Page and Mrs. Ford. He's caressing, I think, Mrs. Page's foot, and he's like getting really, really like sexually into caressing her foot for no reason. And then we cut to now in the Tempest, and he's the one getting his foot caressed. And I found versions of the play, like of the actual text of the play online that included the stage directions, and they literally are all like, here is where Caliban kneels, there kisses the foot, and then there's like some lines of dialogue, and then okay, here's where Caliban stands up, and as he stands up he says this line. That's all it says. Kneel, kiss, stand up. This they turn into him like just like you said, licking the foot for like a long time. And Ger's character, at first he's kind of laughing, and then he's laughing like maybe he's like sexually excited by it. And I was like, why are you always having a foot fetish moment on stage? Why do we? I don't feel good watching this. I don't like this. Why, sir? Why?
I can't. I wish I had an explanation for you, but I don't, because it only appears in his stage work. I don't think there's anything we've watched where he has a foot fetish other than his stage work.
Correct.
Yeah. But then he's like, can I ad lib? And they're like, sure. And he's like, lick my foot. And they're like, what? No. And he's like, the correct response is yes, and. That's how you do improv. Lick the foot.
It is so much. It is sort of also Falstaff-esque in that like it goes on for fully like 2 more beats than what you think it's gonna go on for.
It's so long. You're like, what is happening?
Camera,
while he's like prey to the bottle, and he's like drinking from the bottle around his neck.
Yeah, and the camera cuts away from the actual like lick moment, like the camera is embarrassed. And I was like, there is so much that is the one thing that I liked and didn't like about this is I feel like a lot of times when you see a video of a play, they're just like, here's all the stuff happening on stage, and if someone is talking, sometimes they'll do like a close up on that person's face, like if it's like up to that person. But otherwise, it feels like they're generally like the camera is just going to hang back here and like let you see everything. In this version, it was like, whoa, like zoom in and enhance. Like the camera was like doing movements.
It was all over there's a part with like steady cam where the guy's just like walking around with the camera. Yeah. It was so different from the other Stratford productions that we've seen where it's like, we have 5 or 6 fixed cameras. They're all recording the whole play. And we're just going to cut in and out just for visual interest. Like, so it doesn't look like we just did your kids, elementary school Christmas program where we put a camera in the back and we just recorded the stage. We're going to mix it up. And that's what it usually is. This was like directed. This was like Christopher Plummer was like, I am directing this. And then we had to direct it where we had to like zoom in on people, zoom out, walk around, do steady camera, wobble around because it's the shipwreck. And it was like, what?
There were multiple times where clearly it is the guy holding the camera and he is on the stage with them and he's like circling characters. And I'm like, you did this on 2 performance nights. Like if I'm sitting in the audience, am I just watching a cameraman's ass like circle around the stage?
They warn you. I mean, they have a thing that's like, this production will be filmed.
No, sure. But
also
if you're expecting it to be like filmed from the audience versus like the camera guy being like, whoa, here we go. Whoa, we're everywhere. Like, I don't know. So I don't know how I feel. Like, I feel like I enjoyed this, but it wasn't like smart or engaging, and it didn't like try and have thoughts. Like this play you could do so much with. Like, it feels safest to be like, Caliban's just a fish monster. Don't worry about it. The people of this island, they're all monsters. Like, they're not people. But also, like, there's nothing that says that that's true in the play. Like, he could be a human man who like he's an islander. He lives on this island. He's a guy from this island. Yeah. Like, I want you to like engage with that. I want you to engage with how Prospero treats him like shit and doesn't seem to think anything is wrong with it. Like, and it's for like a decade. and it makes this guy like vicious and unhinged. Like I want more. And like I didn't when they first announced the new version with Ger as Prospero, this coming season, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it with like male rage." I was like, "Oh no, like no, thank you." But honestly,
Now watching it, I'm like, yeah, I could use a little
yes,
rage. I could use a
yes,
little rage, a little less, "Ho ho, I'm your happy uncle."
yeah, yeah, because like
Yeah,
some of the lines from Prospero are him being like angry and upset, and I feel like the way this version, or like vindictive and like mean and shit, and the way that this version plays is like I'm saying those lines, but I'm saying them in a way to suggest that I don't mean that. And I was like, oh, speaking of which, that was the other thing I wanted to ask your opinion on. Going back to Rubber Boob Gate, because what even was that? But the way that it's supposed to play out, based on me googling the text of the play, is they start doing their little mask where they're like, blah blah, have a happy wife, happy life, lots of kids, blah blah blah, and they do their little song, and it looks like in the text of the play it is supposed to be like a happy little song, whatever. And then as they're doing it, Prospero's like, am I forgetting something? Oh shit, yeah, no, Ger and the clown were gonna come and kill me. Fuck, I forgot about that. God damn it. Like, stop the play, stop the little play, I have to go and deal with that shit. And the way that this version plays is Prospero is watching, he's like playing like I keep thinking it's a harpsichord, but apparently it's something else. But he's playing his like old timey little piano. And all of a sudden, like there's thunder in the background while they're doing their stupid little mask. And then there's like lightning, and the music gets really discordant, like really like, uh-oh, something bad's coming, uh-oh. And then after like the freaky, thunder and lightning and scary music, that's when Prospero is like, ah, shit, I forgot about the murder plot. Fuck off, go away, fuck off, fairies. And then he like runs off stage. And I'm like, I don't understand what you guys were going for there at all. Because it's almost like, is his subconscious warning him with the spooky music? And then he remembers after his own subconscious mind remembered first? Because that's like a lot more deep than anything that you've done this entire play. So like
right.
what? Like it's such a weird, like none of those choices make any kind of sense to me at all. And I was really frustrated with it because I was like, oh, is this a thing? And then the play was like, we're kidding you. Nah, that's not a thing. We have no things here.
I know. He's like, they're going to kill me. And he rushes off. And I don't think they ever even make it to his castle. I think they get drunk. They hide under a blanket for a while.
Yeah, but they do get to his rooms, because they've got the box full of fancy clothes, and then Trinculo and Stephano are like, let's play dress up. I'm the king. No, I'm the king. Look at my fancy finery. And then Ariel's like, what if a pack of dogs? And they like chase him off the stage. I'm just like, what?
I don't know. It felt very, because sometimes Shakespeare's characters are not aware of each other. So you have this character who has given no indication as to why he would be aware of Ger's character. And then in the middle of another very important event, because it's kind of his daughter's wedding, he's like, oh, right, that guy was going to kill me. I should probably go take care of that. And then he leaves in the middle of the wedding.
Yeah. It felt very much like Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove being like, oh, yeah, Cusco's poison. The poison for Cusco. The poison. Yeah.
The poison specifically for Cusco. Cusco's poison. Yeah, that's what it felt like. He feels a lot like Kronk. He feels like, I know you said you've seen Dracula 2000.
Yeah.
But you don't remember Dracula 2000. But he's
Correct.
like Van Helsing, but he's like OG Van Helsing. So he's been putting leeches in Dracula's coffin and then removing the leeches and then like taking the blood from the leeches and injecting it into himself.
This sounds familiar, yeah.
So that he can stay alive. And yet somehow he is still the doting dad character who's estranged from his daughter but doesn't want to be, because he's actually a really nice guy, despite the fact that he's using this immortal guy in captivity in order to extend his own life.
Yeah. That is exactly how this feels.
But like squint at that a little, because he's a nice guy. He just does some things that, like, maybe aren't that great, but that doesn't make him not a nice
That
guy.
is exactly how this whole performance feels to me. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you the terrible things I've done. I will show you evidence of the terrible things I've done, but I don't want you to believe that I'm terrible because I'm actually a
Yeah.
super cool dude. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't I mean, I know.
And these people are planning to kill me. Ha ha, he he. Isn't that so silly because I'm just a nice guy.
Yeah, but
Why
also
would you
I'm
want to kill a
God.
nice guy? But anyway, I'm gonna remember because lightning and thunder is gonna crash down because the earth itself is trying to tell me that I'm in danger
That's kind of how it feels.
because I'm such a nice guy.
Yeah, that's kind of how it feels. And then I'm like, but we've got those lines from Caliban where Caliban's like, if if it weren't for Prospero, none of the other fairies would bother me. None of them would be poking me or putting prickles on me or chasing me screaming through the night or waking me up with bad dreams. Like, I didn't have a problem with any of the magical fairy spirits here until Prospero chained them to him and made them his slaves. And I'm like, you 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 are kind of the villain here.
Yeah,
This guy tried to rape your daughter and you are the villain here. Like, that's crazy. And the play just like does not.
because that wouldn't have been I mean, in Shakespeare's time, that would not maybe necessarily been seen as inherently villainous. But, like, I
I
show up on the island and I subjugate the population, it's like, well, if the population can be subjugated, they deserve to be subjugated. He
Yeah, but
clearly
then
brought
yeah.
them order.
But that's what I want to like pick apart. Because on the one hand, yeah, I'm like, was Shakespeare, was he like, well, they're brown people and they can't talk our language, and so
Yeah.
therefore they
I mean
are inferior to us, and we need to white man's burden them. But then you see Caliban, who's like, the gift that you gave me of language was just so that I could curse at you. You have enslaved me. You've made my life miserable. You made me live under a fucking rock. This whole island was my island. Nobody here was shitty to me. You've made all the beings of the air and the sky and the sea crap on me everywhere I go so that I can bring you your wood. And like, yes, I did try to rape your daughter like one time, but also 12 years of you doing this shit to me. I like I feel like there's something that like you recognize that he is a person. Like that's the thing that frustrates me the most about this is I feel like a lot of times with Shakespeare's plays, at least to my like uneducated viewpoint, a lot of times I'm watching and I'm like, these characters don't seem like people. They seem like a slice of a person.
Yeah.
Or like I liked Winter's Tale, but the way that the king, is it Leontes, I think, the king, the way he
Yeah.
goes from like super fine to like full on mental breakdown. I feel like a talented actor like Graham Abbey, I feel like he plays it like I am a guy in mental distress. But I
Yeah.
feel like on paper it could read like I was like this and now I'm angry, and you're just like, what? Like
Yeah.
how did we jump from these places? I feel like sometimes you just get like nothing characters, and here I'm like there's layers to Caliban. You could play Ariel's lines like 100 different ways. Like I either love Prospero or I fucking hate him because he's chained me into servitude, and every time I try to get I do exactly what he tells me, and every time I want my freedom I get reminded that I was in a hole and he can stuff me right back in there. And I used to be this spirit of the air and I could go wherever I want and do whatever I wanted, and now I am trapped to follow this man. Like you could play it like so many different ways. There's like so much, and maybe Ariel feels all of those things. And Caliban, like, he's like, I loved you. I loved you, Prospero. Like, you came here and I showed you where all the good nuts are and how to get eggs out of the nests of birds, and where all of the good food is, and where like the safe water to drink and the bad water. I showed you all of these things and I loved you and I lived in your house. And then you turned me into a servant. And like maybe it's after you turned me into a servant that I was so vicious and crazy and angry that I tried to rape your daughter, and you made me a monster. I wasn't a monster before. Like you did this to me after I like only loved you. Like there's so much you could do with that. And the
Yeah.
Prospero character, like his like you neglected all of your duties. You said so yourself, but like you don't seem to think that was like any reason for somebody else to like get to do that, job. Like you just neglected everything, and you're like, well, it's the job is the title I was born into,
So
so
it's mine.
yeah. and
Yeah.
everyone loved me. And that's crazy that you would think that like they didn't love me. Well, no one appears to have gone looking for you for the last like 12 years, man. So
Yeah.
like maybe having a Duke of Milan who is actually doing the job of the Duke of Milan and taking care of the people of Milan. Like maybe they prefer that to like shadowy magician man who lives in his closet and never comes out and just has his books everywhere. Like I don't know. And like I feel like I I know that like I know this is Shakespeare's last play that he did on his own, and that Prospero is supposed to represent him. And I feel like this version does do a good job of like the Prospero as playwright who's like setting all the pieces in motion and moving the characters. Like I do like there's a lot of scenes where Prospero is like doing like a Where's Waldo. He's like, whoop, like I'm just watching from back here. Oh, now I'm over here and I'm watching from over here. I'm like, okay, like I I feel like you can get the Prospero as Shakespeare Jr. playwright and also have Prospero as like maybe an asshole question mark. Like I feel like you can do both those things.
Yeah. Well, a lot of his plays end up feeling like a commentary on himself. Like The Winter's Tale to me, especially the first part, felt like a commentary on his usual trope of I have a character, they become jealous, they blow up their own life, and consequences ensue. And so the first part is I blow up my own life over literally fucking nothing.
Mhm.
And then I have nothing. I lost my wife, my son died, I killed my daughter, and I just realized that everything is actually fine and I was having some kind of manic event and I killed my entire family over it. And now I can't go back and I'm stuck with the consequences of that. And then we pan to the right over to, exit pursued by a bear. Like the second part of the play is a comedy.
Yeah.
And so the comedy ends up feeling like a commentary on how dramatic the first section was, that it never needed to be that way, but that guy was being such a dick that he made that into a serious section
Yeah.
when it could have been a comedy. And then the
Yeah.
second section is so funny, it's such a contrast that when you go back, he feels out of place.
Yes.
Like
You're the tragic
Leonidas.
character in a comic world.
Right. Like, and he put himself there. And there's no how does he get back? And so it's him having to like try to join this world that he no longer fits in because of his own actions. And
Yeah.
even though he gets his wife back, his son is still dead. Like even though he gets his daughter and his wife back, he never gets his son back.
Yeah.
He never gets back everything that he lost. That was so dramatic. Like that's so dramatic. And I feel like he was trying to make a commentary about like the ability to create magic with Prospero, where it's like, if I'm Shakespeare and I'm the creative genius behind these plays, it's like I'm creating magic. So
Yeah.
that's how I'm like Prospero. And I'm also not doing any of the shit that I'm supposed to be doing in my real life because I'm magic. I don't know if you knew this, but like that's my passion is my creativity. And like you need to just let me cook.
Yeah.
And also let me have all my cake too. Like I want my cake and I want to eat it. I want it all.
Yeah. But they give us like enough information to see like I feel like Shakespeare is not totally unaware of the selfishness of the Prospero character,
Right.
the you maybe brought this on yourself, bro, of the character, but I feel like this production is totally unaware of that.
No, they're like, I just wanted my library. Like
Yeah.
I'm a reader. And they just nobody respected that
You are
that
giving me
I,
such book talk trauma right now. I
that
don't know if you
I'm
know.
a reader. Like you need to it's not my fault I read 300 books in a year and you didn't because like I don't know, I use my time wisely or whatever. Like I don't need to govern my country.
What do you mean I need to pay rent?
I don't need to govern my country. I'm a
Yeah.
reader. Like that's what it feels like. It feels like a failed commentary is where I'm getting. Like it when you present it the way that Christopher Plummer does, because it ends up
Yeah.
feeling like Prospero did nothing wrong. Even shipwrecking the ship was everybody was fine. So like
Yeah, what are you bitching about?
I mean, the rest of the sailors died, and only the higher up people who were on the ship are alive.
No, I thought they said nobody died. They were just sleeping. Everyone was just taking a nappy nap.
Okay.
Okay, that eye roll and that is how I feel about this whole performance, this whole production.
And there was no stakes, there was no
No.
consequences. Everybody was fine and nothing
Yeah,
happened, and someone got married.
correct.
Like, that's
Yeah.
how this felt, and I was like, "Eh." I did enjoy the Gare scenes just because they were not a tension break because there was no tension, but, like, I was more like, I understood how I was supposed to feel about those characters, so I was fine
Yes.
with it. Like, I know these are his he loves a plucky relief character, and this felt like his plucky comedy relief character, especially the scene when they first meet and they're, like, under a blanket, and their
I did
legs
like
are
that.
sticking up, and he's like,
Yeah, that was cute.
and of course, anytime Ger gets to do comedy, he's in his element. Like,
Oh, yeah,
if he's a
absolutely.
plucky side character that gets to just tell jokes and, like, make dick jokes, he's like a pig in shit. He's the happiest man
Yes.
you could have put on this stage. Like,
Well,
when he
yeah.
first shows up and he's like, "She's a tailor, she knows how to scratch and itch," and then he does this, like, I have touched many, many pussies this way hand gesture where he's like, "You know what I'm saying?" And he, like, curls the fingers and everyone's like, "Woo!" Like, and you get it. You're
Yes.
like, "Okay,
Yeah.
that's all right,
He
tone
does,
set.
yeah.
I got it.
He
Okay."
does make a character that I feel like was already, like, pretty accessible, extremely accessible, and I will say I liked when he first shows up, like you said, Trinculo and Caliban are under a blanket. Trinculo, like, Caliban heard a noise and hid under the blanket, and then Trinculo, I think also hears a noise and, like, panics, and he's like, "Well, I think this thing under the blanket is dead, so I'm just gonna scooch under there." So you've got 2 legs sticking out of one end and 2 legs sticking out of the other end, and so Garrett's character shows up, and then when he pulls out the Trinculo character, in the original text, he's like, "Trinculo, are you the siege of Caliban?" I didn't know that Caliban could vent Trinculos, and, like, I knew the verb vent means, like, to poop, like, I got that. I would not know that the word siege is the same as like excrement, as like turd. So I appreciate that in this version they change it to turd. And also I appreciate that, like, as you said, when Gare's doing a funny character, he's always Scottish for reasons that are, like, beyond me. So it's not just turd, it's like turd with a giant rolled R.
Yeah, turd.
Thank you. I can't roll my R's. Thank you. So it's like it's perfect. Like, they made it even more accessible, and, like, I appreciate that. And then, as you said, when he comes on stage and he's reciting the little poem about we loved Meg and Marion and whoever, but none of us could stand for Kate. And, like, Kate didn't like anyone except that Taylor could scratch her wherever she did itch. And, like, just in case in the cheap seats you didn't know what that meant, that the Taylor scratched her wherever she itched, he does the 2-finger I'm gonna finger a lady movement, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay, all right." You know
Mhm.
what? I don't mind it. Let Gare, let comedy Gare be comedy Gare, and that always there's no female character for Stephano to fuck, so he's gonna air fuck one with his fingers, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, he's just
that's
gotta
fine.
invent one in that moment. It's fine.
It's I like, and I will say, okay, so we like touched on this very, very briefly, but costuming wise, I wasn't super impressed, like, overall, except I do feel like a lot of thought was put into, surprisingly, into Gare's character's outfit, and I didn't catch it the first. I'm not gonna lie. The first, like, 3 times I watched this, I was like, "Why is he orange? That's weird. Why is he orange?" And then I realized he's the drunken butler. He passed out on the top of the ship. He is sunburned. He's
Yeah.
sunburned because he was drunk. I was like, oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I get it now. And I was like, okay, like, that's actually, like, a very creative, like, I like that. You've given me some more into the character. This outfit works, this whole costume and makeup design. I don't super know why he's Scottish, because his name is Stephano, not like, Stephen McRiley or whatever, but fine.
Okay. You know,
McPherson,
he
what?
just showed up and he started delivering his lines in a
I'm Scottish
Scottish
now.
accent, and they were like, "Okay, we'll get him some tartan tights. We can make this work."
Yeah, yeah. All right, he's gonna be Scottish whether we want him to be Scottish or not. We might as well lean into it. Here's a little Tam, and he was like, "Give me a handkerchief hat," and they were like, "Why?" And he's like, "'Cause I need it
I
for
need
my
you don't
character."
part of my process.
I also need my hands free for sexual gestures. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I appreciated that. And like, I really did like the blue painting and bodysuit for Ariel. And I thought it was cool that the way that her face and body was colored, it wasn't just like a solid blue. It was like highlights and lowlights, and it felt like the combination of the multifaceted sort of dimensional paint job plus the way that the lighting was set around Ariel. I thought that was kind of cool because it sort of made her seem more ethereal and mystical, and like she's like fading in and out. And I don't know. I thought that was thoughtful. I appreciated that. I get what I like. Caliban is a weird design, and like I say, I don't know that it makes sense to have other Calibans when the whole fucking point of him is that there's one and it's him. Hello, hi. But like, I get if you're like making a straightforward version and you don't want anyone to go, wait a minute, black people are people. Like, I get that you're like, just Fishman, full on Fishman, and he's going to have sort of like some wispy, gross white hair kind of poofing off the top of the back of him sometimes, but not always. Okay, sure, man. Like Fishman, if you don't want to deal with colonialism and racism, Fishman is a safe place to go, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like everyone else, like all the men who were on the ship, except for the clown Trinculo and Scottish drunken butler Ger Stephano, other than them, all their outfits looked exactly the same to me. They all just look like random Spanish nobles, even though they're from Italy. Like they're all wearing like black with the big white like neck ruffle, variations on the neck ruffle.
Yeah.
They're all elderly or older or elderly white men who are all sort of similar in build and size. And so like watching them there's one black guy. The one black guy is the brother of the King of Naples, so that is Sebastian. I think he's the only black actor out of all of them. But trying to keep all the rest of them straight, I was like, wait a minute, are you the old man who's the king? Are you the old man who's the advisor to the king? Oh, there is that's terrible. I can't think of his name. There's like there's an additional black actor, David Collins, but he like pops in real quick and then like disappears.
And then pops out.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So like everyone else, you're dressed the same. You're kind of the same physicality. The king, like, you could just give him a little crown. Like, help me out here. Put a fucking crown on his head. Give him a fancy hat. Like, give me something to tell me that he's the fancier one out of you. Like
a necklace.
Yeah.
Anything. I was with you. I was like, I don't
Walking
remember who's talking.
Yeah. Yeah, they all look exactly the same to me. And then the son, Ferdinand, they did give him like a red outfit, but like also he's the only young guy. So like, you could have worked less hard to differentiate him. I would have known him because he's by himself and he's the only one without gray hair. Like I would have figured out which one he was because he's making out with a 16-year-old. And then somebody pointed this out in one of the reviews and now I can't unsee it. So the Prospero outfit and the Miranda outfit both kind of look like I was shipwrecked 5 minutes ago. That's kind of the vibe, like torn and tattered, whatever. But in the text of the play, Prospero was like, okay, we're gonna fix up the ship. We're gonna make it look brand new. And also, everyone's clothes, I'm gonna mentally dry clean them. They're gonna be fresher than when you first put them on. And I'm like, so you can dry clean their clothes on their body? Why the fuck are you wearing rags when you've been on the island for 12 years? It doesn't make any sense.
Correct. And his daughter's boobs are hanging out. I was like, oh, that is low cut.
Yeah.
That is low.
She got the healthy naturals for a 35-year-old, 16-year-old.
What? That was crazy.
And it's a fun visual detail that also makes no sense, but her hair, they put like a beachy salt spray in it. So it always looks like she just came out of the water. Yeah. It's got that just damp, salty, I'm at the beach hair. But again, you've been here for 12 years. You've been here for 12 years, and there's nothing that says that you were just swimming 5 minutes before the whole plot of this play started. So it's like,
island hair, just let it go.
I guess. But it feels just like the Prospero character, where it's like, if you didn't read the play, this would be a cool outfit for a shipwreck person. But 12 years, you've been here 12 years. You don't still look like that after 12 years, especially once I know that you have magic dry clean powers. Like it doesn't.
And a magic vest.
The magic vest, I don't know how I feel about his magic coat. And like I know like in the play he has a magic coat, so whatever. But his version in this looks like it's made out of seaweed. And then when he puts it on, there's like a little flash of like little green twinkle lights that seem like they're maybe on the inside when he like puts it on. So it's just like a little quick twinkly twinkly, and then he puts his coat on and whatever. And like I,
Eh,
I feel like the little tiny twinkle lights on the inside are not as impressive as they maybe would have thought they were. Like there's such a brief little like
maybe they worked better if you were just in the theater and you could see the light, but you couldn't see the, like, light bulbs.
maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
It just seemed like such a small effect. Like
It makes a
you've done some
sound too.
yeah, I forgot it makes a stupid lightning sound, like a
Yeah.
electric sound. It's like I feel like some of the effects were crazy good. Like they have people like coming in and out of the floor. They have Ariel flying through the air. They have Prospero like popping up like Where's Waldo a bunch of places. And there's even, and I don't know if this actually happens in the play or if it's like um an effect that maybe they added later for the movie. But there's like an image of Prospero that's kind of at the very, very beginning. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like projected kind of. And I can't tell if that's just like part of their opening credits that they made for the movie version, or if there actually is like an image of him being projected, which would have been cool if you were sitting there. Like he's sort of the god of this whole little world and island, and like
Yeah.
he's the puppet master. But like this just feels like the things that I just feel like they made like a straightforward play and it was fine and it's not boring and they put a lot of effort into some things and then no effort into other things, and so at the end you're just like, well, I understood that and I don't really feel satisfied,
Yeah,
but it was fine.
I don't feel like I went through something. I just feel like I witnessed something. I'm like,
Yeah.
I get it. I get what happened. I can kind of probably think a little more deeply about it than what you currently presented, but at the same time, you didn't invite me to think any deeper about it.
Correct. You didn't want me to engage on a deeper level.
So, I kind of just feel like it felt very like it maybe at the time the fantasy elements would have felt more out there, but now they feel very ubiquitous, but they would not
Yeah.
have felt that way when Shakespeare wrote it, but then it's on the people producing the play to make the fantastical elements feel more impactful,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like they did. Like, it wasn't even immediately clear to me that he was some form of magician. I thought he was literally, like, a nerd. 'Cause he's literally like, "I just really like books, and I was spending a lot of time in my library," and his daughter is like, "Yeah, dad, I know you really like books." And he's like, "No, I, like, really like books," and she's like, "Okay, like, I get it, you literally lost an entire." This isn't like, "I had an appointment at the doctor and I missed it because I was really into this book and I forgot to put it down." It's like, "You lost your kingdom?" Because you're so into books? And he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I really like books." And then you're like, "Well, then how does he know how to do magic? Is that just the magic coat?" And then we meet Caliban and you're like, "Okay, so there was a witch here before, so, like, magic exists in the world, and this guy's clearly monstrous in some capacity, so there's that amount of magic in the world, but, like, how does that relate back to him?" It was just a very I mean, I get it. It was
Yeah.
Christopher Plummer. They were probably happy to have Christopher Plummer. He asked to do a lot of the directing, staging, probably, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Okay, fine." And then he was just like, "This is now the Christopher Plummer show.
Correct.
I am a nice person. I'm going to play a nice person, and the rest of you just need to support me in this."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Okay, sure.
One
Fine."
of the one negative, so I was only able to find 2 reviews. One was like it looked like it was some guy's personal "I review theater" because that's what I see things and here's my thoughts on it website. And the other one was The New Yorker, and The New Yorker was literally like, "This was great, I really liked it," but it was written as kind of it wasn't in depth, and it was talking about the movie version with Helen Mirren at the same time. So it was like there's 2 versions of The Tempest out and like both are cool and great. Like, and it was like a really um cursory discussion. But on the website of the personal website of the guy that did the review, he goes, if you just came here to see Christopher Plummer, then you're probably satisfied because you came out to see like a big star of stage and screen and you got to see that. Good for you. But like, if you wanted more than that, you're probably disappointed. And thinking about it, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's kind of how I feel.
that's a
Like
fair criticism.
Like Christopher Plummer he's good at playing charming, but also like as we know from Conspiracy of Fear. God, so many stupid movie names. From Conspiracy of Fear, there's so many of them. So from Conspiracy of Fear, like we're aware that he can play a bad guy character. He can play like a menacing character. I'm sure he's played menacing characters in other things. As you say, for whatever reason, I like know Christopher Plummer. Like I know, of him, but I feel like I haven't seen that many of his films for whatever reason. Somehow
Yeah, I
I've
do
just
feel
missed
like
them.
he kind of blends because he's always the same character, but he's not the same character in the way like Christopher Walken is. Because when you see
Yeah.
Christopher Walken, you're like, "Ha, Christopher Walken."
Christopher
But
Walken.
you know
Yeah.
he's gonna be Christopher Walken, but you don't care because he's Christopher Walken.
Huh.
And then Christopher Plummer shows up and you're like, "Oh, he's in this movie? Okay." And then he's always like pants. He's just toast. He's nothing.
Yeah.
Like he's in National Treasure. I know that one. He's in like the very, very beginning.
Oh, I forgot. I
And
forgot. I've seen that movie. I
right.
forgot.
And then you're like, and done. Like I saw it on his credit and I was like, what? What was he? And then I was like, oh my God, he's the grandpa. Oh, I totally forgot. Like
Yeah.
he's just
This
he was
is
a fine actor. He's just not
he's not
he's not
memorable.
yeah, he was just serviceable. Like he did his
Yeah.
job. He did fine. He won an award for this play.
Yeah,
And it was
he's very
fine.
charming in it, but
at the
it's
end you're like, okay, well, I had a good time, but it didn't challenge me in any way. Like I didn't
yeah.
feel
You came out here
I
and we're
enjoyed
charming.
I enjoyed
Sorry.
You're fine. Like I enjoyed Ger's moment. I enjoyed Ger's character moment in this, and it was fine. And I'm looking forward to him being angry Prospero.
Yeah.
Like I want to see him crush Prospero
Yes.
and make me feel like, am I supposed to be rooting for this guy? Because he feels a little manic. Like that's where I want this
Yes.
character to be.
Yes, that is the one like extreme I was gonna say positive, maybe this is not a positive, but the one really engaging thing about this version of the play is it seems so misdirected, like so missing the point. There's so many points that you could have gone for with this, and instead they were like, what if we do the children's version? And it really made me go, oh, you could, like at first, like I said earlier, at first I was like, oh no, Ger is going to be the angry man version of Prospero. That sounds terrible. Because in my head I'm going like male rage, like incels, like male culture. I was like, oh, like this sounds like it could just go in like a kind of a gross place. But I kind of think after watching this version of kindly avuncular Prospero, I want to be challenged. I want to hate him a little. I want to watch him grow and change. And you can't grow and change if you start out great and you end up also great. Like I want the play to know that you're sort of a prick. Like that sounds marvelous. And Ger is good at playing an asshole character and a complicated character and a I think if you let him go and you're like, do your full acting chops and go and make him like spiteful and burn, hell-bent on revenge, and he's going to use his daughter and make her get married as part of his giant master plan for vengeance, and he's going to have to go through all of this like emotional reckoning to then come to the point of, you know what, maybe I'm never going to get justice for what my brother and the King of Naples did to me. Even if they apologized, that's not enough for what's the word? Sending you away.
Absolution?
Banishing him? That's not like this.
Yeah,
So
with the two fingers. Okay.
It's like even like what could happen that would compensate you for 12 years on an island away from your people? Do you know what I mean? Like what, if you killed them, would that give you 12 years back? If you put them into a prison cell, if you made them go crazy, if you just got them to say, you know what, man, I'm sorry, you're my brother. I shouldn't have done that. That was real shitty of me. Like what version of this compensates you for what you've suffered? And also, like, let's be real, as you said, he asked his brother to take over all of the like ministerial duties of being the Duke of Milan.
Yes.
Like, at some point, your brother was the Duke of Milan, even though you had the title. Like, he was doing the job.
Right. And you're mad he just was like, I think I want to be it in name too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, not to victim blame, but like maybe you share some of the blame here, dude. Like, so I want to see, like, I feel like the angry version of Prospero is the one who has a place to go from, like a place to grow out of, and maybe he gets worse, maybe he gets better, maybe he gets worse and then better, or better and then worse. Like, he has a place to grow and change and become a character that we're like interested in, like a dynamic character that we want to watch.
Yeah.
Like, awesome. Yeah. Give me asshole Prospero. Like, if that's who you're going to do it, like, Ger is an excellent actor for that. I think he would do a great job. Like, I know he wants to be like the comedy king. I know he's sad that like for part of his career, he was handsome, mixed sexy. That's fine. Give me the third version. Give me the evil asshole. Give me that guy.
Full Henry Breedlove.
Yes, if anyone's listening, if this version of Prospero could at some point wear a bathrobe and walk across the stage in little socks, I would be
and
so
say
happy.
fuck a lot. Fuck you. Like, I want full Henry Breedlove. I'm drunk on my own ability. I know who I am. You don't get to question me.
Yeah, I'm the puppet master.
But it's actually my downfall. How
Yes.
confident I am in what I can do is my downfall. Like, that's what I want. I want full Henry Breedlove.
Yes. Like, it's at first I was like, yeah, okay, Henry Breedlove, like, joking. But honestly, yeah, you're exactly correct.
Yeah.
That character who thinks he is a god, and Prospero, for all intents and purposes, is the god of this island, right? I mean, he's powerful enough to control all of the fairies and demons and ghoulies and make them do exactly what he wants, whether they want to or not. He has bound them to him with the sheer power of his manly Italian magic. Like, that's crazy. He is so powerful that he thinks that he is a god, and then realizes that he is fallible like the rest of us, and that his godlike powers will not make him whole, and that actually what he needs is to release the anger inside him and forgive and move on with his life and take everyone with him back to his home and release all of the slaves that he has enslaved on this entire island and give them their freedom, instead of being exactly like Sycorax, or, you know, being maybe his brother was like a terrible leader of Milan. We don't know, but like you are the leader of this island, and the way that you let it is by sheer brute force through your magic. Like, maybe you don't need that anymore. Maybe you don't need to be like this terrifying, you know, to the natives. Like, you are this evil god that has trapped them. Like, maybe you don't need, like, shitty things happen to you. You don't have to then continue to do shitty things to everybody else. Like, to come to that realization, that could be so powerful. And this version of the play was like, hey, look, dancing lights. And I was like, okay, I don't.
Yeah. All right.
Dancing lights and rubber boobs, and then someone licking Ger's foot, and then the camera looking away in shame. And I was like, I don't.
That's a good summary. That's as good a summary as any.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like it's the plot that goes nowhere. It just felt very whatever. But Ger got to be in on the joke. Like, he got to have the joke with the audience. He got to have his four corners.
Yeah, his weird accent. He got to do an accent.
His weird accent. He got to wear tartan. I don't know if that's a his like tartan tights.
He got to be a weird Scotsman, a sexual Scotsman.
Yeah, he got to be drunk and sunburned. Like, he got to do a lot of the things that he likes to do. Like, he definitely got to lean into his, like,
play into the cheap seats.
I like dick jokes and poop jokes as long as they're Shakespeare. Like, I'm a Shakespeare poop joker. That's
highbrow shit humor.
I will not stoop to just a regular poop joke. Like, I'll pretend to suck my glasses like they're a dick, but I'm not going to make that joke verbally. unless it's fucking Shakespeare, and then I'm all over that shit, and that's how it felt. Like, it felt like
Yeah.
Falstaff. It felt like his character in Winter's Tale, where he just leans into the, because he gets
Yeah.
to play to the audience. He gets to look around at the
Yeah.
audience, and he gets to get them to laugh with him,
Yeah.
and that
Feed
is
off of it.
that is when he is like, "This is why I'm an actor." You can tell those are the moments
Oh,
where
yeah.
he's like,
He
"I'm
loves it.
here for this. I'm here for you being with me." He was a similar character in London Assurance too, where he's just like the funny comedy relief character who's kind of the joke but doesn't know they're the joke. And
Yeah.
he just really leans into that, and he was the highlight of, like, I thought I was gonna like Christopher Plummer going into this. I don't know why I keep thinking, "Oh, Christopher Plummer. Oh, I know him. Okay, he'll do fine." And then I see him and I'm like, it's like watching paint dry. Like,
Yeah.
he's like the visual equivalent of like a lemon painting. Like, he's
Yeah.
fine, he goes with your couch.
But he doesn't give you anything.
He might even be technically accomplished, but at the end of the day, he just matches your couch. Like,
Yeah.
that's no matter
Yeah.
how well done it is, it still just matches your couch. It's in and then it's gone.
Yeah.
And sometimes you enjoy it while it's happening, and sometimes you don't,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
And I feel bad that, like, I don't have much to say about, I thought, like I said, I really, really, really enjoyed the Caliban actor, Dion Johnstone. I thought he did great. I thought the Ariel actress, Juliana, whose last name I cannot pronounce, but she's on the IMDb page. I thought she did a really great job. And I appreciated what they brought to those roles. But, like, and then, the daughter Miranda, she gets a speech where she gets to yell at Caliban after he's like, "Oh yeah, remember when I almost raped you? That was a fun experience." And she was like, "You piece of shit," But Shakespeare, like, I appreciated like that shouting scene she got at him. I thought that was cool, because the rest of the play, I think she's the only female I mean, besides Ariel, who's kind of all
Yeah.
genders, no gender. She's the only female character, so it was nice to have like that one moment of her getting to like stand up for herself and being like, "Fuck you, you weird fish man." Like, I should lock you in a hole. I shouldn't have taught you language. I gave you stuff and you were shitty to me, even though, like, he's your slave. So, like, let's unpack that. But, like,
Yeah.
I thought she did a good job with that, but, like, no one else made any impression on me. Like, nothing. Even,
Mm-mm.
like, I wanted the two brothers. I wanted the Sebastian Antonio. We're gonna kill them. They should have been the Statler and Waldorf Muppets of murder. Like, that should have been great. And instead, they have like half a scene where they're like kind of funny, kind of conniving. They have like some smart ass jibes, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna go great. And then the play kind of goes, let's forget about them. Like, we don't care about them anymore. And I was like, okay, like, once you stopped caring about them, the play, I had no reason to care about them either. And then, like, they all just become one mass of guys in like trunk hose and like neck ruffles. And
Yeah.
I feel bad. Like, I'm sure that, they all did a serviceable job. No one stood out to me as like bad, but no one stood out to me as like great, because this whole
Yeah.
production just felt like mush. Here's your mush. Just enjoy it. It's like soft and warm, and we're not going to give you any like interesting flavors or sharp bits or textures. It's just mush. You don't even have to chew it. Just let it slide
Yeah.
down your throat. So how would you rate this?
Oh,
Mm.
I think I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 eyebrows, raised eyebrows, because he got quite a few of his characteristics, and he appeared to be having a really good time.
Yeah,
He
I
got
think
to
so.
be in on the joke. He got
Mhm.
to play to the audience. He got to do a lot of his comedy stuff, which is usually have a weird accent, have a funny little outfit, like his four-corner hat that he almost always wears when he's doing comedy, when he's doing Shakespeare comedy. He got to have, a lot of, like, repartee with a couple of other characters where he got to play off of them and do a really good job playing off of them.
Yeah.
So, 4 out of 5 just for how much enjoyment Ger got out of this. If you only watch the Ger scenes, it's fine. It doesn't end up intersecting with the plot in any meaningful way, except for the moment where Christopher Plummer is like, "Oh shit, that guy was gonna kill me. Right, I gotta call this off right now." And then he runs off, and then you're like, it's the plot that goes nowhere. I don't even think they end up.
Yeah, no, that's true. You could, like, I like them, but yeah, you could cut out that entire chunk, those entire characters, And all that would really, all the really, like the only negative detrimental effects of it would be that Caliban doesn't get to interact with anybody other than Prospero. Like I feel like they exist for like half for the jokes and then half for Caliban to be sort of humanized. Like,
Yeah.
I've had such a terrible, crappy master. I've been abused for so long. If you will be nice to me, I will follow you to the ends of the earth. Like, just don't beat me and I am yours. And I feel
Yeah.
like without those characters, Caliban becomes immediately like totally one-dimensional. So I appreciate them for that. But you're right, in terms of like, it seems like this production like doesn't care about anybody's interior life. They're just like, have the plot go forward. And so in this version of the play, yeah, you could scoop that part totally out and you wouldn't like change any of the
No.
vibes of anything. It feels like, how would I write this? I don't know. I gave myself the unenviable task of rating on enjoyability. So, which is always hard
Sometimes
for
it
me.
works out, and sometimes you're like, I don't know, was
I
it
don't.
better than Ikwe or worse than Ikwe? Did everyone kill themselves at the end? I feel like that's probably a good metric because
Oh,
in
from
Deadly Harvest,
yes.
when I
Why did
was
I
trying
just
to
forget
find
the name of it?
when I was trying to find the cow's name, I found like a trope website that was like, here's the tropes that are in this, and one of them was bittersweet ending, and I was
Where's the
like,
sweet part?
your idea of a bittersweet ending is different from my idea of a bittersweet ending. And it was basically like, well, the one family gets fed drugs and they all die, but like we don't know if the other families die.
Oh, they definitely die like
So
2 minutes
maybe
after the.
maybe they're okay.
Yeah. No, the movie ends and 5 minutes later they find like an orchard full of beautiful, healthy apple trees and deer that lie down to be killed out of the love of
Yes.
humanity.
Right.
And they live
Correct.
on apples and venison until the cure for whatever plague going on is found. Sure. 100%.
Mhm.
Um Enjoyability out of 10. Like, it's not challenging like I want it to be. And the more I think about it, the more like annoyed I get like after having watched it, where I'm like, well, how come this and how come that? Like, how come you didn't challenge me literally at all? But in terms of enjoyability for watching it, like, it is enjoyable. It's just, it's like a snack and not a meal.
Yeah.
So I don't want to dissuade anybody from watching it. Like, it's fun, and Ger's all sunburnt and Scottish, and like that's a good time. And some of the magic scenes are pretty cute, and like the Caliban makeup is very good. So I don't, and if you get a foot fetish, there's something for you in there too. So like a 7.25 sloppy
Hmm.
wet kisses,
That's pretty good. Yeah.
like it's not satisfying, but it's fine. Sometimes you get like
It was
a silly,
enjoyable. I
yeah,
can't say I'd ever be like, God, I want to watch that again. But I'd be like, hey, this is an okay version. We could watch this version of The
yeah.
Tempest.
You could
Yeah.
watch this version with your kids and you
Yeah.
wouldn't have to, I feel like you wouldn't have to explain anything like super problematic. You'd be like, he's a fish man and she's an air spirit and this guy is a nice old man who wears a coat made of seaweed. Just go with it. And I feel like
Yeah.
they'd be okay. Yeah, it's fine. I like this because it makes me excited for what Ger is going to do. Because I know Ger will not do this. And whatever
Yes.
version of not this he gives us, I am now more excited for than when it was announced. Like, that's what this
Yes.
has done
That's
for me.
fair. Yeah.
It has made me very excited because it's like I I know what one version of this play is that doesn't work. I will now have that in my head to see your version, to compare and contrast, and I'm excited to have like a baseline to go from. Because for some of the Shakespeare plays, like sometimes like when Stratford does like Cymbeline, I have no idea what's going to go on. I mean, I didn't have any idea while Cymbeline was happening,
No. I
frankly.
could have looked it up ahead of time and I don't think I
It would
still
not have
would have
helped.
known what was happening.
Would not have helped any of us. Or I could have, I didn't have any like preconceived notions for Winter's Tale or Twelfth Night, or there were like a bunch that I had not read in school and I didn't have any like real knowledge of going in. And so when you're going in with that, like with nothing, I feel like it's harder to be like critical, like on the go, of like, oh, like, you did your lines this way and you presented the character like this, but you could have done the lines that way and presented the character like that. Like, it's hard to It's hard to do
Yeah.
that like on the fly for something new. But if you have like a baseline of like, okay, I know the basic plot. I know like I have an idea of like the places where you could diverge a little bit and like still read the text, but like where you could diverge in your portrayal of the character. Like
Yeah.
having that like, you know, that like pack ready to like pull from. I'm now like extra excited. I feel like I have like a box of cards in my head and I'm like, all right, you're going to pull from the left hand or the right hand? Like, where are you going to go? Like, how are you going to trick me? Like, how's this going to happen? So I'm like now super, super pumped. And like I say, I don't know that I was a little bit like trepidatious when I first saw that Ger was going to be Prospero. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, first off, I need him not to be old enough to be Prospero. Because he is my dad's age and Prospero is an old man and my dad cannot be an old man. And so therefore you cannot be Prospero. I need,
Okay. I mean, that follows.
Correct. That is how time works. You are eternally young and you will live forever. And I need you to just be cool with that. All right. So I was like a little like, oh, I feel like Prospero is the like at the end of my career Shakespeare. Like it's Prospero and it's like King Lear. And I need you not to get there before I'm ready for you to get there, sir. I need you to play Romeo. Play the 16-year-old boy. I'll tell you.
I need you to play the children.
So on that note, friends, bye.
Bye.